guys, I'm out here testing out the new straight through cat-free exhaust and the AliExpress knockoff FMF. It's essentially like the Q4, and it does have a dB killer in there. So with that in here, it really has a very similar tone to the stock exhaust. And I'll give you a little sneak peek here. So back up a little bit here. And what do? We got it in first gear. Oh, fantastic. In first gear. Alright, so yeah, when I posted this thing, a little picture of it on the Facebook page, a couple people made the joke that they probably, you know, would they probably put in there some oily rags and asbestos. You know what, that was probably a joke, but you're probably pretty close to accurate. Spooging out some stuff from a couple of different spots. And I just have this, you know, this cheap little guard right here, but it's doing its job, because when I didn't have this on there, that's right where the pair of pants that I was wearing completely just melted. And I didn't even notice it until later on when I came back and there was a hole in my pants, and I'm like, what in the world? I went back and looked at the bike and it was all melted to right there, and that was just getting on the bike and taking it around the block. So with this Q4, it gives you the this aluminum plate, and essentially you just have to rivet the mount on there yourself. And that's where I wish I would have taken a little more time in getting the line up, because essentially this should be rotated a little further so that there isn't this gap right here. So if I could go back, I'd probably take a little more time and try to get that a little more lined up. But so initial ride impressions of the cat-free exhaust, the ECU tune, and obviously the muffler. And it does have the timing key, advanced flywheel timing key, and it does have a 51 tooth rear sprocket. So I've essentially done the mods that you can do to this bike to try to get a little more pep out of it, and I think I've accomplished that. I think I can't wait to line it up against a stock Kove and see how it does. Because now the front wheel wants to come up, and it just revs up and gets to that rev limiter a lot quicker. And where I really notice it is where you're at more cruising speeds out on the road, or you know, just at a steady pace down the trail, and then you go ahead and accelerate. It actually picks up in the mid-range a lot better than what it used to. I used to kind of complain about the acceleration, and it in that mid-range, and I think that the combination of everything has improved it. So the other thing, you know, there was that spacing where your foot, it's not an issue here. And essentially what I did was just take the stock mid pipe, have them cut it, and then just weld in a little elbow here. And it's not the prettiest welding, and he admitted it, and but I don't really care. What I'm gonna end up doing is I have another little universal guard to go right here that's kind of an angled one, and then I'm gonna take this one and put this one down here, and then you won't even see it. Big thing I'm noticing right off the bat is way better heat dissipation. Is that the right word? It's dissipating heat better. I couldn't have done that with the old pipe. It's still hot. With the old pipe, I would have burned my hand touching it. Yeah, so, and then this here, I can actually touch this one. So that's gonna keep your pants from getting burnt right there. And this is just really just kind of a little elbow joint here, a little ball socket joint, and I do have a gasket for it. I don't have the gasket in there right now, so but it's not leaking. It's not leaking up there, and so far I can tell you that the tune from Kove Moto USA is really good. I'm not getting any hiccups. I'm not getting any hesitations anywhere in the rev range. And so, yeah, let's go out there and just kind of jet down this high pressure gas line trail. Got a lot of washouts, up and downs. It's pretty straight, but will give me a good indication of how the Kove is performing and if it's improved that front end lifting ability, and just kind of giving it a little more snap. That's what it needed. So come along for the ride. I'll try to make it short. Sorry for flapping my gums. I tend to be able to talk about a topic that should be able to be summed up in literally a minute and a half, and I make about a 20-minute video out of it. So sorry about that, guys. I do need a new media mod so that I can do more moto vlogging, because otherwise they sound like crap, and I don't want to put out shit that sounds like crap. And so far, the last like handful of videos that I've done, the audio is crap, and I wouldn't I wouldn't doubt if people were like unsubscribe, you know, hearing that stuff. So I just want to improve that so that I can put out some better content for you guys. And again, appreciate everybody. Almost up to 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it down below, and I'll get back to you, man. Or catch you in the next one. All right, so let's take it down the trail. If you can make it out in the background, we got Mount Lemon back there, which is up over 7,000 feet. We got snow up there, actual ski lift. And if you can imagine, this far, 60 miles from the border of Mexico, and we have a ski lift at the top of Mount Lemon, right outside of Tucson. And I'm out here, right by the Ironwood National Monument, which is this beautiful rock formation out here. And there's tons of BLM land out here, so tons of campers and people out here just enjoying the winter out of the snow. So if you ever have an opportunity, this is a beautiful place to come. It's very quiet, very peaceful, within you know, 20-25 minute drive of Tucson. But man, that's what I love about living out west here, is the public lands, and why I just don't get states like Texas where everything's fenced in, everything's owned. But yeah, I do love Texas. I just don't like how they manage their land, and you know, obviously if you're a landowner you would feel differently, and I get it. I'm just talking purely in terms of the public being able to enjoy this country of ours. So yeah, that's this exhaust really sounds a lot like the stock one. And so on my next ride, I'll get out here and I will remove that dB killer out of there and see you know, if it's manageable or if I would prefer a little bit quieter. I prefer a little bit quieter, but you know, I have noticed in the past that those dB killers do kind of take away a little bit of the power. You know, you do feel them, but it's kind of a toss-up. So yeah, we're running the new tune from GPS Photo. It just runs so much crisper now. It felt really labored, underpowered, and a bit of a letdown. But I could tell that it just stopped up. The ignition. Sit there. Washouts are in the shadow. They're in the shadow, so I can't see anything. Woo! Look at that sucker. See? That's what I'm talking about. That could be dangerous. If you're coming along and you hit that, not expecting it. Comfortable really blitzing it. input of the throttle. We got the rekluse going 6 miles an hour. It's not gonna stall. Lock up the rear wheel. No, obviously that's what a rekluse is for, but just showing you that the tune is really good right now. There's no hiccups, even down to an idle. About spot on, Joe. Bravo, my man. Dude's doing great things with the Kove. You know, I don't even see really a need for an aftermarket ECU option. A piggyback tuner. I'll tell you what, anybody who's gonna get one of those piggyback tuners, those things are a gimmick. They're a gimmick. Yeah, like, see right there, down low, there's a nice, you know, little stab to it now. That was everybody's complete. And look at how many. Okay, I'm in second gear. Talk about Ricky. Ricky did awesome. None of you hear that, but the rut. He's got a bark. Dude, these washouts. Oh. Just cleaned out my pants. Can't see them. Alright. I've got far enough. Well guys, thanks for watching my little videos. Just trying to make the Kove better and giving some people some cheap alternatives, because ain't nobody want to spend $1,000 on an exhaust after you don't have to. Obviously there's a difference in quality. Buy cheap, buy twice. Not always. So
crossfire.